Before Britain switched to decimal currency in 1971, its money system was incredibly confusing. There were 12 pence in a shilling, 20 shillings in a pound, and dozens of different coins in circulation. Today, we're going back in time to explore some of the most iconic British coins, from the famous gold sovereign all the way down to the tiny farthing. Let's begin with the gold sovereign, the most valuable coin in today's collection. It was worth £1 or 20 shillings and contains 7.32 grams of pure gold. On the reverse is one of the world's most famous coin designs, St. George slaying the dragon, created by the Italian engraver Benedetto Pistrucci. More than 200 years later, the sovereign is still minted by the Royal Mint. Next is the half sovereign, worth 10 shillings or half a pound. It contains around 3.66 grams of pure gold and was commonly used for larger everyday payments. Like the full sovereign, it also features St. George and the dragon on the reverse. Now we come to the crown, worth 5 shillings or 1/4 of a pound. Although it was legal tender, many crowns were issued to celebrate important royal events. The 1935 crown commemorates King George V's Silver Jubilee, while the 1937 crown celebrates the coronation of King George VI. The 1889 crown, featuring Queen Victoria, represents the classic Victorian era of British coinage. The next denomination is the half crown, worth 2 shillings and 6pence. It was one of Britain's largest everyday silver coins and circulated throughout the empire for generations. Here I'm showing examples from 1887, 1936 and 1943, spanning the reigns of Queen Victoria, King George V and King George VI. Next is the florin, worth 2 shillings, or exactly 1/10 of a pound. It was introduced in 1849 as Britain's first serious attempt to move toward a decimal currency system. The first issue became known as the godless florin because it omitted the traditional inscription Dei Gratia, meaning by the grace of God. The design caused controversy and was changed on later issues, including this 1887 florin. The shilling was worth 12 pence and 20 shillings made £1. It was one of the most important everyday coins in Britain and remained in circulation for centuries before decimalization. The example here is from 1933. Next is the sixpence, worth exactly half a shilling. It was one of Britain's most popular silver coins and became associated with good luck. Even today, many British brides still place a sixpence in their shoe as part of a traditional wedding custom. Now we have the famous 1797 penny, also known as the cartwheel penny. Worth 1 penny, it became famous for its enormous size and thick copper design. It was produced to combat counterfeiting and remains one of the largest circulating coins ever struck in Britain. Finally, we reach the smallest denomination in today's collection, the farthing, worth just 1/4 of a penny. This example dates to 1674, during the reign of King Charles II, making it more than 350 years old. Although it had the smallest face value, today it's one of the most fascinating coins in Britain's long monetary history. As you can see, Britain's old currency system was anything but simple. From the tiny farthing to the famous gold sovereign, every coin had its own purpose and its own story. Which British coin is your favourite? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy the history behind old coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.